Midst these uncertain times, we find ourselves at a crucial moment in 2024 in biblical prophecy. Here are 4 trends to watch. More than just a sermon, it is a call to pay attention to the prophecies that align with our world today. Every day we see signs of scriptures coming to life around us as 2024 approaches. The importance of these prophecies grows. We cannot ignore the signs. Trend number 1, the emergence of global unity and governance. As the world becomes more interconnected through technology, trade, and geopolitics, we can observe more attempts to form stronger global alliances and perhaps even a movement towards a more unified global governance system. References in scriptures, like Revelation 13:7 and 8, speak of a world power that has authority over every tribe, people, language, and nation. What you need to watch for is a trend towards continued global unity and governance, setting the global stage for a significant prophetic figure, the Antichrist. This wave of integration is not just a coincidence, it is a vital step in preparing the ground for the emergence of the global leader to come. As you witness the formation of alliances and unions of countries, it is crucial to remember that this is not just geopolitics at play, but the manifestation of ancient prophecies. Scriptures have long indicated that a man is prophesied to come and lead the world, exerting unprecedented influence and controlling a vast global system. Everything you observe in the world is interconnected, no event is isolated, nothing exists in isolation. As you watch history unfold, remember that everything is interconnected. Every war, every rumor of war, every alliance, and every disagreement are parts of God's prophetic timeline. The world is not in chaos. Although you may be surprised by current events, God is in control. All events are moving according to God's prophetic timeline. While on earth, Jesus spoke of things to come, and the book of Revelation provided further insights. So, as you observe current world events or watch the news, always ask yourself how this relates to biblical prophecy. How it connects to the return of our Lord. Nothing, absolutely nothing, happens in isolation. Everything that happens is part of God's prophetic timeline. Revelation 13:7, and it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them, and power was given him over all kindreds, and tongues, and nations. Here, in Revelation 13:7, such an influential figure would require an infrastructure that transcends borders and conventional systems. And here we see another trend to watch: global economic systems and digital currencies. The rise of digital currencies has been meteoric, and calls for the establishment of a global digital currency are growing louder, streamlining transactions and creating a universally accepted economic system. This shift away from traditional physical money is not just about efficiency or security concerns. It's a reflection of the world's gradual movement towards unity in all sectors, including the economy. A unified digital currency could essentially pave the way for this prophesied leader to have unprecedented dominion over global trade. As these trends continue to unfold in 2024 and beyond, it's essential to see them not just as isolated geopolitical or economic events, but as significant pieces fitting into the vast puzzle of end-time prophecies. By observing these patterns, believers can discern the times and prepare their hearts and minds for what is to come in the prophetic calendar. Trend number 2, technological advancements and the mark of the beast. If we go back a century, or even 2, science and technology, as we know them today, would seem almost alien. The advancements we've made in a relatively short period are truly miraculous, from the conception of rudimentary machines to the sophisticated digital world we are deeply immersed in today. Humanity's technological journey has been a witness to innovation, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of the unknown. Revelation 13:6-17 states that he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Revelation 13:16-17 paints a picture that, for ages, has been seen as a distant, almost ethereal prophecy. It speaks of an era where individuals will bear a mark on their right hand or forehead, a mark that becomes the determinant of economic transactions, a requirement without which one cannot partake in the fundamental acts of buying or selling. Though unimaginable in years past, today's rapid technological evolution makes this biblical imagery increasingly plausible. The impressive pace at which technology advances cannot be ignored. Tasks and innovations that once took decades, if not centuries, to materialize, are now achieved in a few years or even months. We live in an era where yesterday's dreams are today's realities. The impossibilities of the past, such as a global system monitoring every transaction you make, have turned into possibilities. A level of surveillance of this kind was unthinkable and technically implausible 200 years ago, yet it is a reality today. The infrastructure needed for the level of power, control, and surveillance that the Antichrist requires for Revelation 13:13-17 to come to pass is already in place in 2024. Anticipate this trend by persistently examining. Recently, I accessed my Cars app and was astonished to discover it had tracked every journey I had made over the past 3 years, the duration of each trip, where I stopped, and the duration of each stop. This experience highlighted to me the depth of surveillance we are currently subjected to. The same infrastructure that the Antichrist will utilize to dominate the world is being established around us. Given the speed of technological advancement, we can expect to draw ever closer to the reality described in Revelation 13. Over the years, various scholars and theologians have made imaginative calculations to identify the Antichrist through his number 666. However, I must confess that no one truly knows the meaning of this number and name. Nevertheless, believers on earth during this time will clearly understand in the grand timeline of biblical prophecy and technology, as the lines of biotechnological advancements, digital finance, and individual surveillance intertwine, a pattern emerges that eerily aligns with the prophecy of the mark of the beast. As we navigate through this technologically advanced era, it's crucial to observe, reflect, and discern. Trend number 3, apostasy and departure from true faith. In recent times, we have witnessed tremors within the foundations of faith that uphold Christianity. The poignant words of Paul in 2 Thessalonians 2:3, warning of a falling away or apostasy, are proving more relevant today than ever. The term apostasy, derived from the Greek word apostasia, carries a profound meaning that includes departure, deviation, defection, and rebellion. In 2 Thessalonians 2:3, it's not just about a casual departure, it signifies a great number of people turning away from God. It's not just a few individuals or a minority, it's an unprecedented global rebellion against God. Aren't we witnessing this in our times? I have never witnessed anything like this throughout my life. The world has undergone significant changes. I have observed a moral shift of biblical proportions. The world seems to hate what is sacred and just while embracing sin and lack of holiness. Today, there are churches that openly allow pastors to live in sin, celebrating and glorifying injustice. By 2024, you will witness more of this great departure in various nations. There is a growing number of apostates in churches. The fervor that many had for the Lord has diminished. The love of many for the Lord has grown cold. The church has infiltrated the world, and the world has infiltrated the church. Allow me to repeat this statement because it is a profound and true declaration. The church has infiltrated the world, and the world has infiltrated the church. It is your responsibility as a believer to ensure that you are not conformed to this world. As a believer, it is essential to ensure that you are not influenced by worldly influences. The world will try to mold you to its beliefs and ideologies, but your beliefs must align with the Word of God, the Bible. This world will try to make you accept things that God does not approve. It does not promote a holy and righteous life but endorses a doctrine of hedonism. The world pushes you towards immediate gratification and transient pleasures. The religion of this world is of the flesh, it is of indulgence of the flesh. It may make you feel entitled to sin, to prioritize personal interests over others, or to continue indulging in sin because it is pleasurable. But remember, such influences will only lead you further away from God's teachings. There is a worrying trend emerging from the world and infiltrating the church, where people claim, "I am a Christian, but I don't follow the Bible." This statement is contradictory. It's like saying, "I am a vegetarian, but I eat chicken and beef." These ideas of the world infiltrating the church are concerning. You cannot be a Christian and ignore the Bible. We are witnessing a significant departure from faith right before us. It is essential to recognize that many have already been led astray, and many more are on the brink of it. Your devotion to God must be intentional. Your decision to follow Jesus must be deliberate. You need to consciously choose to walk the narrow path, for few find it. Even as we witness this great departure, make sure it doesn't entangle you. Hold fast to your faith, adhere to sound doctrines, and remain faithful to the teachings of the Bible. 2024 approaches with promises, but it also brings challenges. The responsibility of the church is not only to guard against apostasy, but also to actively promote sound doctrines, ensuring that the faith once delivered to the saints remains uncorrupted and undiluted. Trend number 4, moral decay and changes in social values, a bleak trend for 2024. The fabric of society is woven by values, norms, and morals that keep communities together. When these threads weaken or change direction, society inevitably undergoes transformations. As we approach 2024, the gradual departure from traditional biblical teachings and values, as described in the second letter of Paul to Timothy, 2 Timothy 3:1-5, becomes more evident, with selfishness, pride, blasphemy, and a loss of natural affection on the rise. It is imperative to recognize and address this moral decay. One of the most evident signs of this deviation is the alarming increase in selfishness. Now more than ever, we live in an era of me first. The biblical warning of men becoming lovers of themselves seems frighteningly relevant today, from husbands and wives prioritizing their desires above their families to the phenomenon of the celebrity pastor, where the leader becomes more prominent than the teachings of Jesus Christ. Self-focus blinds us to the needs of others. A new religion is forming, the religion of self and the religion of pleasure. The religion of pleasure is not new, fallen humanity has always been drawn to it. Today, many worship at the altar of pleasure. We live in an era dominated by pleasure seekers, rather than seekers of God, an era that embraces the mantra eat, drink, and be merry, for tomorrow we die. The religion of pleasure is truly the worship of the flesh. We must be vigilant, for our nature is drawn to pleasure, including the fleeting delight that sin offers. None of us are immune to this allure. I am tired of Christians pretending that there is no pleasure associated with sin. There is pleasure that comes with sin, a pleasure that the carnal man craves. Do not let anyone lie to you, making you believe that there is no pleasure in sin. There is pleasure in fornication, in adultery, in sexual immorality. There is satisfaction in sowing discord, seeking revenge. Drugs and alcohol also offer their own forms of pleasure. Sin, in its many forms, can be tempting. But before we continue, let me share a verse with you. 1 Timothy 5:6, But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth. An ungodly person who lives their life for pleasure is alive, yet is as good as dead, for they are not living for God. The pleasure of sin never lasts, it deceives because it never lasts. The pleasure of sin always tries to make you want more and more and more. More and more, the world will worship at the altar of pleasure in 2024. The religion of pleasure is selfish, it goads you to put your sinful desires above the well-being and future of your loved ones. Fall in love with your family, put them above pleasure. Fall in love with your children, put them above pleasure. Think about how your sin can destroy your family, think about how your sin can cause a rift in your family. Pleasure can distract you from your responsibilities, it can distract you from your duties as a husband or wife. Fall in love with your husband or wife, fall in love with your children, they are worth more than the pleasure of sin. The pleasure of sin is deceitful, it will deceive you, making you think that you can live a double life. You can't, you really can't. What secret pleasures do you have? What secret pleasure do you have that your husband, wife, or family know nothing about? It will destroy you. Sin is deceitful, sin is destructive. Numbers 32:23, Be sure your sin will find you out. Be absolutely sure your sin will find you out. Undoubtedly, your sin will find you out. In conclusion, as we move forward, the need for vigilance has never been greater. As we stand on the brink of 2024, the trends of global unity, technological advancement, apostasy, and moral decay are not mere observations but clear warning signs that urge us to reflect, discern, and act based on our convictions. While the world may lean towards a new order, believers must find strength in their faith and in the scriptures. We must stand firm, nurturing our relationship with God and reinforcing the foundations of our beliefs. As we approach 2024, it is evident that we face significant challenges in the spheres of global unity, technological advancement, apostasy, and moral decay. These trends are not just distant observations but clear signs that call us to reflection and action, based on our convictions and faith. While the world may move towards a new order, it is crucial that believers find strength in their faith and remain steadfast on the foundations of the scriptures. If this content resonated with you and if you wish to continue exploring relevant topics in the light of faith, do not hesitate to subscribe to our channel. Your participation is crucial for the dissemination of these meaningful messages. Share this video with friends, family, and on your social networks so that more people can be impacted by these reflections. We thank you for being part of this journey of discovery and reflection. Together, we can strengthen our community and share the light of truth. Subscribe to the channel, enable notifications, and share this video. May we continue to grow together in the pursuit of understanding and wisdom.